I commonly get asked for a checklist. Where do I start? How do I get myself protected? How do I protect my single computer, my two computers, my house, my home, my laptop, my network, my small business, my medium business, my $100 million business? Where do I get started? Well, we're going to give you a list, a 5 point starter, just to get you in going here. Step one, antivirus. There's a lot of different kinds of antivirus out there. Don't get free antivirus. No AVG, no Avast. Remember, and you're going to hear it multiple times in this series, if the product is free, you're the product. Those companies often sell browsing history, and that might not be something you like. So, get a real antivirus. The bigger you get, you need to get more serious. Bitdefender is okay. FortiClient is okay. Sentinel-1 is great. Cylance is okay. There's a bunch of products out there that are fantastic. Antivirus is not an end-all, be-all solution, but it's a place to start. And after you get some of these things in place, because it takes time and energy and resources, and you should document it along the way because eventually you're going to want to document all of it anyway. So start documenting it at the beginning. It'll save you a lot of pain and frustration later on. Where do I go? What do I get for an antivirus? Start somewhere. When it comes to these kind of things, the Gartner charts are great. Look for high and to the right on nearly everything. What outperformed what? What is better than what? They'll do those charts. They're kind of the modern day version of IT, security, consumer affairs kind of stuff. Consumer reports. Sorry. When I was young, we always saw those consumer reports for products, and I don't know if they still do that anymore. I haven't looked into them for IT or cybersecurity products, but I know the Gartner charts are really good. So let's antivirus. Great. You got antivirus on your machine. You got antivirus on your server. Make sure you have antivirus on your server. The number of places I walk into, they have no antivirus on their server, and there's IT people that have opinions that you shouldn't have antivirus on your server. That's just dumb. Dumb. It doesn't matter that attacks can bypass antivirus. We're going to do a video on that. And it doesn't matter that ransomware bypasses antivirus. We'll do a video on that. You still need to have it, right? Whether you want to get infected by 70% of the internet or not, get antivirus on all your stuff. So, after antivirus, you got to have logging. Logging. If you don't know what's going on in your environment in some way, shape, or form, or have someone who is looking at what's going on in your environment, you have a problem. If you had somebody walking up to your house and trying to pick the lock on your home every day at 4 o'clock a.m., how are you going to know? What are you doing to determine that? Well, it's the same thing with passwords. It's the same thing with remote access. It's the same thing with everything else. Is the janitor who's cleaning up the office while everybody's gone at 7 p.m. trying to log into your computers? Your logs will tell you who's looking at them. You need to have something in play to look at what's going on. Next, email, web traffic, phishing, filtering. You have to be filtering your stuff. Email filtering that starts at the antivirus level isn't the best. Yeah, there's software that does that, and it downloads everything that's in your email first. Then it filters through it. That's not good because if there's malware in there, you downloaded the malware. Then the software looks at it, and you're trusting the software to take advantage of it. Well, it's going to miss things. It just will. So if you're going to have email filtering, which you absolutely should, regardless of where it's on this list, you should have it. Email filtering means it's happening in the cloud. It's happening at your provider. There's email filtering in Office 365. There's email filtering in Google, and you can buy lots of third-party platforms that'll do it for you. Mail Protector is the one that we use here inside Titanium, as well as a couple other platforms. Just use it. You'll find it somewhere. It's built in. There's products you can use for Sophos and Fortinet and a bunch of others. A lot of people offer it, and it's usually really cheap because you're buying it per mailbox, and you got to do some redirects, and maybe you're paying $1, $2 a month for it, maybe $5 if there's extra bells and whistles and add-ons and encryption and backups and a bunch of other stuff. But you got to have email filtering, and you got to have web filtering, network filtering of some sort, just so that you can stop people from going to Facebook. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't let your employees surf the web. Yeah, I am. I'm saying that. I'm saying you should not let your employees surf the web. Why? Because those risks, you're opening doors up. You're letting people talk to your network that don't need to talk to your network. Just because you don't want to be the mean boss. Well, your employee might click on a link that of somebody that messaged them, and the person that messaged them is their mom. And their mom clicked on a link an hour earlier and got her Facebook taken over. So now a hacker's in her Facebook. She just got it sent to her, but it was from my mom. Why wouldn't I click on a fuzzy little kitten picture that my mom sent me? Well, that's where the weak link is. The weak link is people. You have to train your employees. We've got videos here ready for you to do that with. So don't hesitate to take advantage of those. You need to train your people. What links not to click on, what email not to read, what things not to do. Hey, if I send you an email, regardless of where it comes from, regardless if you know how to look at the address, no matter if it came from my email address, if it came from a text, it came from anywhere, and I'm telling you to buy $10,000 in gift cards and scratch them off and send the details to me, that's not me. Don't do that. Don't click on the email. If somebody emails you and says, hey, I need a report for everybody's W-2 and 1099 and everybody in the organization, all of their financial information, I need it sent to me ASAP for tax purposes or whatever the email says. Don't do it. So many of these email scams don't have malware involved. There is no virus. You need to train your people, and that's on this list. Top 5. Train your people. Phishing simulations, software, accountability. Train them. They're the last line of defense. Technically, they might be the first line of defense if you're not buying anything else on this list. You have to train your people. Next, you got to test your backups. You got to have backups, and then you have to test your backups. What good is a backup that you haven't tested? That's like having a fire alarm you don't know if it works. Have you tested your fire alarms? Maybe I'm in the wrong line of work. Maybe I need to start getting people to test their fire alarms. Listen, if you don't know if your fallback system works, it's not a fallback system. You have to test. You got to be backing up, whether it's your server, your desktop. Back up everything once, throw it in a safe deposit box. Then just back up your critical stuff. That way you have a starting point, not on premises. If the place gets hit by lightning and it all burns to the ground, you want to have someplace to start, not there that got hit by lightning and burned to the ground. You need to have your backups off site, but you need to test them no matter where they are. If they're on site, they're off site. Remember, a USB drive plugged into a machine is not a backup. So, how do you do all these things? You create a list. You start it. You start your list. Say, here's my cybersecurity checklist. Number 1 is antivirus. Number 2, how do I train my people? Number 3, logging. Number 4, email and web filtering. Number 5, test my backup plan. These are all critical things that you should have on your to-do list. We're going to have videos specifically about these things going into them later and going in more depth about why you should do them. But the specifics are, if you don't do these are reasons businesses fail. These are reasons why people get fired. These are reasons why you might have to look for a new job. So, build out some sort of rudimentary cybersecurity plan. Start putting something together so that you have an idea of what's going on. And as you get bigger, you need to do this anyway. If you're a larger organization, there's financial incentives, whether it's from a cybersecurity insurance standpoint, whether it's from a business insurance standpoint, or from a resellability standpoint. People who are in the business of buying and selling businesses ask these questions. What is the risk and liability I'm buying when I buy your business? What have you done? What security exists here? Oh, none? Well, I'm going to use that as a discount to say I'm going to have to do all these things because you didn't. I'm going to buy your business for 10% less. So there's value in doing it just to do it in case you have an exit plan that you want to move forward on in the next couple of years. Hopefully this video has been educational, helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.